Hey guys, Coach Gaglione here, GaglioneStrength.com. I got my friend Chrissy here, another strong woman. How you doing today, Chrissy?
I'm good.
I think I don't know if we first met. Was it me? I was doing a seminar at Cortland. Was that like the first time we crossed paths?
I think so. Yep.
So
Or
that's a
was it the
couple
Caitlin
years.
Trout one, maybe?
Oh, okay. Was that the beginning? Okay, yeah. So we had Caitlin Trout. Man, that's a blast from the past, huh? That was a fun day.
Yeah.
So Caitlin Trout, another great lifter. I'm trying to get her on here, but she's been like kind of out of the powerlifting games for a while now. Yeah. So just tell the people watching a little bit about yourself and who you are and then kind of what you got going on right now.
Well, I am a fitness specialist. I work in a corporate gym in Boston, Massachusetts. Um, I started powerlifting about 5 years ago. Before that, I was a ballet dancer for 16 years. Danced professionally and classically through high school and then kind of recreationally in college before I found powerlifting.
Very cool. And can you just like tell us a little bit about like kind of what was like the what was like kind of the moment where you like wanted to try out lifting? Like what kind of got you into just like kind of working out with the barbell like for the first time? Like what kind of motivated you or like gave you the inkling that you wanted to try that?
When I was in college, I majored in exercise science, and I was in, a lot of people who were in that major were athletes, and I kind of wasn't. I was a dancer, so I didn't really have that athletic, like strength and conditioning background that everyone had. So when I started having like labs and strength and conditioning classes, I was way behind everyone. I couldn't even, bench press the empty barbell. So that's when I kind of realized I really had to learn first of all, learn how to lift and just get stronger. And I had to do a couple small internships for school, and one of those internships, or they're called fieldworks, one of those was at Mike Boyle Strength and Conditioning in Massachusetts here, and that's where I first technically learned how to lift.
Yeah.
They kind of brought me through. They mostly do Olympic lifting, so that's where I learned, all the basics pretty much. And then once I got back to school, I got more into the powerlifting and the squats and the deadlifts and the bench press, and got away from cardio in the gym. I used to be a cardio bunny, and got more into strength training.
Cool. So I think so. It's more kind of just learning at first, would you say, and then kind of like you started to. What was if you could kind of pick like a defining moment on like when you really want to focus on it? Because obviously 5 years is a long time to commit to something. A lot of people watching, they maybe maybe never even touched a barbell yet. Maybe they're a couple of months in. I know like a lot of my like girls and stuff. They're only some of them are like under a year in still. So what was kind of like the thing that made you decide I really want to commit to this? I want to actually like do a competition and compete.
So I had asked one of the guys in my major to kind of help me teach me how to powerlift. He was a powerlifter himself. And once we kind of got into it, and I think the very first time that I deadlifted 135 pounds, which was a huge deal to me at the time.
Big plate. Got the big plate.
Yeah, big plates. That's when he kind of put in my head, like, you should compete. You should, really train for this. So that's what I decided to work towards. I like working towards a goal. I'm kind of one of those people that, I need to always be working towards something, or else I kind of like not give up, but I kind of like lose momentum. So that was really helpful, especially at the very beginning. I picked a competition date and I worked towards it, and I knew I had it coming up, so that's what I trained for. And
Starts to get serious, yeah.
yeah, yep, exactly.
Yeah, so one thing we always tell our guys, like, we're really big on goal setting also, and having a meet is really great because you have that concrete, like, date coming up. We say, like, training without a goal is kind of like driving without a destination. You wouldn't just kind of, like, hop in your car and without knowing where you're going first, or, like, kind of shooting without a target. So it gives you kind of that something to aim for. So I think that's really great advice for the people watching. So, very cool. So So being a ballet dancer, obviously, it's way like opposite end of the spectrum from like strength training. I know, have you ever like had any setbacks or injuries or things that you had to like kind of overcome along the way?
Yeah. So when I was in high school, I had two pretty significant injuries from dance. I had a back injury and I had a knee injury. My back injury happened when I was a sophomore in high school, and that kind of it was minor, but for like a dancer, it was a big deal.
Sure.
And it kind of has lingered ever since. I have like I get sore backs, and it affects my deadlift sometimes. So that's something that I've had to learn how to deal with and work around. And I go to a chiropractor now, which helps a lot. And then my knee injury, I had a partially torn meniscus going into my senior year of high school, and that I never had surgery or anything. I just went to physical therapy for it. And actually, when I started lifting, I started doing some like rehab work and learning like that you have to work the muscles around the knee in order to strengthen that whole area, and that actually helped way more than physical therapy ever did. And I haven't really had any issues with my knee since. I mean, I'll get like some days where it just really hurts a lot. But now I know that I have to foam roll, I have to do certain exercises, certain warm-ups to help alleviate that pain. So I think that learning how to powerlift and strength train actually helped with that knee injury a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of women are like really afraid to kind of like lift heavy, and they think it's just like kind of dangerous. But like in your case, you were like so like hypermobile, and you didn't really have a lot of stability. So like actually getting stronger, I think maybe was something that like kind of helped you. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I agree. I was very hypermobile as a dancer. I put my legs over my head, the whole thing. But that was a big problem when I first started lifting, because, for example, with the squat, I would just drop right down and I couldn't get back up. So learning how to control the movements, learning and getting stronger in the muscles, especially my legs. And I mean, my legs were pretty strong to begin with, but learning how to like use that strength in the right way, powerlifting helped with that a lot too.
Awesome. So if someone was kind of on the fence getting started, they were kind of maybe like a little afraid, what advice can you give someone to kind of like help them kind of overcome that fear and kind of get started?
Well, I understand that fear. I would never have gone into a weight room or started this powerlifting if I had been alone. I think that it helps a lot to do it with a friend or ask someone that you know who already does it to kind of help you get started, teach you, get a coach if you want to, if you're going to, if you want to train for a competition. I definitely think a coach would help with that. It just helps that you're with someone who understands and who's already confident in all the lifts and who can help you, make you feel comfortable in the weight room and is not going to like, make fun of you or whatever.
Right.
I know a lot of female clients that I work with, they think everyone's watching them, and that's not true at all. Like that, no one's watching you. Everyone's kind of focusing on their own thing. I thought that when I first started, but it's not. It's not true at all. And the only person who's going to be watching you is the person you have helping you.
Great advice. And I also know, like I said, being like in the fitness world too. You've been to some of my seminars. You've been to a lot of seminars yourself. You're always kind of like learning. I think sometimes people, like at least what I see, because I'm kind of like in the same boat as you. Like I'm kind of like in both worlds, not just the powerlifting world. I try and learn from everybody. Some people kind of only try and learn for just they kind of stay in their own little bubble. But things like physical therapy and stuff. Like, what advice would you give to people about kind of like learning? Just to kind of educate themselves so they're moving the right way and staying like healthy. For you've been doing this for obviously 5+ years. That's pretty substantial. Not everyone is kind of like has put in that much time and effort. And obviously, the longer you do it, the more important it is to kind of like stay healthy and kind of be educated on how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think you should soak up as much knowledge as you can. Read as many books as you can get your hands on. Ask people for advice. Go to seminars. Learn from others as much as you can. And even if you are kind of on the fence about thinking about competing, maybe go watch one in your area and see if like the atmosphere will be right for you. I never did that. I didn't really know what to expect, but it's definitely, I think it would have helped a lot if I had kind of like known what I was getting myself into. But yeah, I mean, and the good thing about going to competitions is that you meet a ton of people, and everyone is always so willing to help, and there's always like coaches like you, or there's always coaches there that you can talk to, and everyone's very open to communicating and stuff. So.
Yeah, I totally agree. Most people are just like kind of willing to help, but you just don't be afraid to ask for help. So I think that's great advice. Do you kind of have any parting words, or like where can people kind of like find you? I know you're a trainer in Massachusetts. Maybe if someone like wants to work with you or kind of connect, like where can they find more about you, and any kind of like closing remarks before we close out?
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me. I do have a website and a blog. It's cmghealthfitness.com. And I'm also on Facebook, CMG Health and Fitness. If you just search that, I should come up. Yeah, I mean, I train privately in Massachusetts, so the best bet would just be to contact me online.
Great. Well, Chrissy, thanks for coming on. Definitely stay on. I'm going to stop the recording soon, but I definitely want to chat with you a little bit more. Thank you so much. Let's show Chrissy some love. You can drop a comment below. Check out the links below. And if this video helped you, please share it. If maybe you know a friend that maybe this could help, you could share it with them as well. And just kind of help spread the message. So thanks again, Chrissy, for coming on. You can say bye to all the watchers, okay?